have all of eternity if you just settle down. Now drink this.
Thanks.
Now, take a bite of this.
Oh, I don't have time, honest.
Oh, yes, you do. Come on, sit down, honey. I just wish you'd treat your body a little bit better.
Well, I wish you'd watch how you're treating that body upstairs there.
If you're talking about Nancy Lawson, she's gone.
For good?
For the day.
Oh.
Babs.
I just don't want her to take advantage of you, Ione, and she will if you don't watch out, believe me.
Well, now, sweetheart, I've been in this world long enough to know when somebody's sincere and when they're not.
Well, do you know when she's sincerely leaving?
No.
Well, it's your house.
Yes, it is. And don't you forget it.
Okay, then. Don't think about me. Think about Miriam. How do you think she's going to feel when she comes back and finds Nancy Lawson in this house?
Oh, Babs.
Beautiful Katie, out of the way, not kicking the kitchen door. Oh, boy. I have to give Stacy a key to this place. Good morning.
Hi, Dave.
Nancy.
You act like you're expecting me.
Well, actually, I was expecting my daughter, Stacy.
Oh.
What can I do for you, Nancy?
Look, Dave, I know you're busy, but I'm tired of going down to that clinic and waiting online all that time. And Lucille, I mean, she
How
just
can I help you, Nancy?
Well, would you mind if I come in a minute?
No, not at all, but don't expect me to change the clinic to suit you.
Oh, no.
Or to do anything for you that you should be doing for yourself.
No, I won't. I appreciate you seeing me.
And understand that I don't give medical examinations in my apartment.
Well, what did you think I came here for?
Well, I'm not sure, but you do seem to be a little on edge.
Yeah, I am. That's why I came to you. I wish I had a drink.
Yes, I figured as much.
Oh, well, aren't you sweet?
No, that's not going to help anything, Nancy.
Well, I do feel that way. Ever since I woke up this morning, all I can think about is getting a drink.
Yes, now look, well, have you had a drink since you left Ione's?
No.
Well, good. What about food?
No, I just don't feel
Well, that's what you need, believe me. Look, I'm preparing breakfast for my daughter and myself. Now, why don't you join us, if you help me out in the kitchen?
Sing for my supper?
Well, breakfast anyway. Come on, it'll keep your mind off of liquor. Hello, Dr. Phillips. Well, yeah, sure. Would you excuse me a minute? Would you mind getting that, Nancy? Yeah, when you're leaving. Well, that's great. That'll give me a little more time. Yeah.
There. All gone.
Okay.
Really, have you thought about how Miriam's going to feel when she comes back and finds Nancy Lawson under the same roof with her? I mean, it's going to do her in.
Oh, I'm counting on Miriam to understand.
Oh, yeah? Well, I wouldn't count on it too much. I can hardly stand to be in the same room with that bird, and I haven't been through half of what Miriam's been through with her.
Babs, this was a long time ago.
Yeah, but you don't forget that kind of stuff. Not ever.
You're talking about the drugs?
I mean that whole show. How she used to keep Miriam doped up all the time and try to get her locked away in that crazy house so she could have Miriam's old man and his money, too.
I know that was coming from the devil's workshop, but honey, you're forgetting the most important thing.
Oh, yeah, what?
Well, because of that, Miriam got her head together. And for the first time in her life, she got ears to hear and eyes to see, and that's what was important.
Well, she still wasn't crazy.
No, she wasn't crazy, but she sure was lost.
Yeah, well, drugs will do that to you, you know.
No, not the kind of lost I'm talking about.
Oh, I see.
No, you don't. Babs, you don't see.
Look, like I said, I gotta run.
Babs, don't run away from me.
I'm not. I'm gonna be late for work, really.
Babs.
What?
Now, you'll see. Miriam's gonna handle this a whole lot better than you think she is.
Well,
You're
if
going to
she-
be surprised.
She does, more power to her.
Ah, now that's what she's got now. She's got the power to deal with Nancy.
Well, I'm glad she does because I don't.
Oh, well, one day you will. The Lord don't stop at nothing. He loves his children too much.
Honestly, I mean, you are so good to me, but
You still can't accept, can you?
I'm sorry, I just can't.
Babs, don't you realize that what good I have for you is because of the Lord Jesus Christ? You just have to accept that fact with your eyes and your ears.
Yeah, well, maybe you just better thank him for me, okay?
Why is that, honey? You too shy to do it yourself? Oh, sweetheart, I guess you better just run on along. Mr. Webster might be wondering what I've done with you. And I tell you, if he asks you why you're late, just tell him I was serving you up a little soul food.
I know. Ears to hear and eyes to see.
That's right.
Your father's on the phone.
What are you doing here?
Well, it's sort of like a house call. I had a couple of problems, and Dave was here.
May I ask what kind of problems?
Well, it was just a couple of things, and it couldn't wait.
I see.
Hi, Stace.
Hi.
Hi. I invited Nancy to have breakfast with us.
Fine.
Well, that was Ben on the phone. He's going to the clinic early, so we can all have a leisurely breakfast together.
Oh, good.
Nancy, have you found a job yet?
Oh, well, it's not very easy this time of year. I mean, all the college students are out, and, there's a lot of competition.
Oh, I don't know that you'd necessarily be after the same kind of work.
Well, maybe not.
Well, here's today's Chronicle. Why don't you glance at the want ads? Maybe something will click.
Dave, didn't I agree to help you out in the kitchen?
Oh, there's plenty of time. You go ahead. Is tomato juice okay for everybody?
Sure.
Nancy?
Yeah, it's fine.
I'll help you.
Well, she came on this morning and knocked on the door. Here she is. What am I going to do? I can throw her out. That's all right. She'll be fine. Listen.
Here you go.
Thanks.
Do you, need a pen?
What for?
Well, to, make notes or mark down anything that might be interesting.
Nothing's interesting. It's the same old stuff.
I think that's one of Nancy's biggest problems. We're going to have to get down to business and help you find some kind of work.
Well, I don't want just any old kind of work.
Well, what kind of work would you like?
Look, I had agreed to help you out inside, didn't I? Okay, I'll
Yes,
go
certainly.
do that.
Dad?
Shh. She'll be all right. Don't worry.
What's the matter with her?
Oh, nothing, Stacy. Nothing that a job and a sense of dignity won't cure.
Is that all? I mean, she's so jumpy.
It's something that you have to go through before you can understand it.
Is she an alcoholic?
Well, let's just say she's on the brink. But thank God this morning she came to me instead of going to a liquor store. I mean, by coming here, she's admitting that she needs help.
Well, I'm glad for her, honestly, but aren't you afraid she's turning into a Dave-aholic?
No, don't worry. I can take care of Nancy Lawson. It's just she needs somebody to get over the hump. Oh, Nancy, are you finding everything you need?
Oh, yeah, it's hard in a strange kitchen.
Well, we'll forget about that. Why don't you come in and join us?
Oh, well, actually, I think I better start job hunting like we were talking about.
Before breakfast?
Yeah, that's, I helped myself already. Is that my tomato juice there?
Yeah, sure, here.
Thanks. Dave, would you mind if I took the paper? I mean, have you read it?
Oh, no, go ahead and take it.
Oh, thank you. Well, look, I hate to eat and run, but I think I really ought to leave, okay?
Well, if you should.
Yeah, I'm afraid so.
Well, you keep us posted about the job, all right?
Yes, I will.
Good luck, Nancy.
Goodbye.
Well, I guess I can finally tell you about what happened last night.
What?
Gil and Amber broke up.
They did? For good?
I went to dinner with Gil at the King's Arms. It was a date. Well, originally planned with Amber, but they had a falling out, and well, to make a long story short, while I was sitting there with Gil, Amber walks in with Lee Carruthers.
Oh.
Well, she was so angry when she saw us, she almost glowed. And if there was any hope for them before, it sure ended last night.
I see. Is there anything going on between you and Gil?
Oh, Dad, either I had him pegged completely wrong from the beginning, or he's changed. He's a real gentleman.
Well, he was out with a real lady.
I'm afraid I felt more like a shrew. I was so nasty to Amber. I just couldn't resist telling her that Gil was coming back to my apartment.
He did?
Oh, well, nothing happened, Dad, honest.
Well, honey, you better just watch your step. Well, Gil Prescott has a reputation of a real lady killer around this town. And I wouldn't want to hear that your name's been added to the list of hearts that he's broken.
It's not like that, really.
I wonder what Lee was doing there with Amber.
Well, I don't know, and frankly, I don't care. I'm just glad he's out of Mom's life.
You know, I don't think our Mr. Carruthers has any intention of paying that $10,000 to the clinic that he pledged.
He certainly had time.
Yes, he certainly did. But his pledge came with a stipulation that I stay away from your mother. Of course, I didn't agree to that.
Are you going to do anything?
Well, I've been thinking about it. In fact, I think I'm going to pay him a little visit.
And Mr. Salzburg, comma, whom I counsel against a plea, comma, refused
Wait a
to...
minute, let me just check that symbol.
No, Babs, why don't just write it out in longhand, will you? You give it to me. Let me write it out for you.
It's okay, I got
Babs,
it.
we don't have time to do
All right,
this.
if we come in?
Please, yeah, come on in, come on in.
We could hardly wait to get here.
All right. Mary Ann Prescott, this is Barbara Farley.
Oh, how are you? Hi, how are
And
you?
Russell Weaver. This is the guy who put Ronnie and Lance behind bars.
Nice to
Barbara
meet
Farley.
you.
Oh, boy, I don't know whether to hug you or kiss you. I mean, what's a nice guy like you doing getting mixed up with those creeps? Well, if I was you, I would kiss him. He's been through a lot already.
You're right. Excuse me.
Thank you. I owe you my freedom.
Well, I've got a lot to make up for.
Oh, no, not as far as I'm concerned. I owe you.
Babs, why don't you go on out there and type up that brief I left on your desk, and we'll get down to business.
Okay, sure. Listen, can I get you some coffee or some tea?
No,
or-
we don't need anything at all. Just take care of that.
I'm not asking you. I'm asking him.
Well,
Are you sure?
No, I'm fine, really. Thank you.
Okay. Listen, if you need anything, just holler. I'm right outside the door, okay?
And I am pleased to present you with this check, Mr. Weaver, for $4,000 in change, huh?
Let me see this.
I guess when you start getting one of those every month, you two will be here in wedding bells pretty soon.
Well, we're not going to be rushing in anything. I did that once before, and it was a bit disastrous. I don't want to do it again. Not that Marianne is anything like her, but...
No, we just have a few things to work out first.
I understand perfectly. At least you're on the right track. Well, one more thing here. I need you to sign. Now, this will ensure that you will get this check coming directly to you every month instead of through this office.
All right. So I still want to insist that both of you keep the inheritance a secret.
Well, I'll certainly do that. That's why I sent Babs out of the room.
And I told you, my lips are sealed.
Well, thanks.
Okay.
Well, that's it, Harold. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Absolutely, you bet. And I wish I could do nothing but this all day long. Looks like coast is clear. Babs must have gone off to the powder room or something.
Thank you.
You bet.
Listen, do us a favor. Say goodbye to her for us.
Sure, will
Thanks
do.
again.
You bet. Bye-bye. This is Harold Webster's law office. Harold Webster speaking.
Harold, I need to talk to you. Don't leave. I'll be right over.
Hey, good morning.
Morning, handsome.
Well, this sure is the king's welcome.
Well, I'm just glad you have some time to spend with the Queen Bee this morning.
Well, me too, little girl.
I forgot to tell you last night. Mama called, and she said that Miriam called from Canada yesterday, and she's coming back next week.
Great. Well, is she going to be bringing Eric back with her?
Now, that I don't know.
You know, it sure is a shame that her father keeps driving them away like this, isn't it?
It sure is. You know, the tighter he holds on to Eric, the further Miriam takes him away. It's a no-win situation.
Kind of like the situation we have here with Monk staying with us, huh?
Oh, you are sly, Gene Redland.
Oh, well, I think it's about time we talked about Monk.
Well, why didn't you follow him last night?
I tried to, but he disappeared. I tracked him as far as Lincoln Road, and then he was gone.
Oh, maybe because your heart wasn't in it.
Well, I don't know. I feel a little low down tracking the boy like he was some kind of escaped convict.
Why don't you let me follow him?
I hope you're not serious.
I am serious. I mean, I've been dying to know where he goes every night since he's moved in here.
I hope you're finally convinced that he's not the burglar.
I am, finally. But I sure would like to know what secret he's keeping.
Oh, wow. You think I'm gonna let you run around in town in an outfit like that late at night?
What's wrong with me?
Oh, nothing. Nothing. You look absolutely beautiful. But I think you would be insane running around at night, running through alleys trying to stalk someone.
Then why don't you find out where he's going?
I will. But you promise me that you'll stay out of this.
Harold, why is that woman still working for you?
And who would that be you're speaking of?
You know perfectly well who I'm talking about, Babs Farley.
Well, I thought that was who you were talking about, but I wanted to be sure you remembered her name.
Why is she still here?
She is still here because she is still my employee.
Mm-hmm. May I remind you that it might be easier to find an employee than a new client?
Don't threaten me, Charles. I'll hire and fire who I like. And if you feel like taking your legal entanglements elsewhere, that's fine. Now, what can I do for you?
What's your special investigator doing?
I talked with McCormick this morning, and he's pretty sure that Miriam and Eric are in Canada with her mother.
I thought they would be.
Well, if you thought that, why did you get me involved with the private investigator?
I don't want to talk to Helen. Oh, I called the house hoping that Eric or Miriam might answer, but when Helen answered, I hung up. Harold, can't they be extradited?
They have committed no crime.
Well, depriving a grandfather the right to see his only grandchild must be some sort of a crime.
Charles, let me give you a little bit of advice. That's what you pay me for.
Yes. Why don't you give me some advice?
You told me that Miriam had called Ione, is that right?
That's right.
And Miriam told her that she expected to be back here in Kingsley by the end of the week?
That's what she said.
Well, then why don't you just wait till then and see what happens?
Because Eric's father will be taking him back to England very shortly. I simply do not have any time. Now, if Miriam did take Eric to Canada, I am going to make very sure that he's brought back here.
Well, do you promise?
What would you like for breakfast, Gene?
Carla, please don't change the subject. Every time we start talking about something, you want to... Hey, buddy, we're just quibbling here over breakfast. You care for any?
None for me. I don't have time.
Well, what about some orange juice?
Yeah, that'll be fine, if it's no trouble.
It's no trouble.
I see you're all suited up there for the huddle.
Yeah, I grabbed something to eat down there. Food's included in my pay, so... Oh, thanks.
So, what are you in the mood for?
Look, I tell you what, Carla. Why don't I give you a break this morning? I think I'm gonna go on down to the Chronicle, and I can drop Monk off at the huddle. Is that okay with you?
Fine, if that's what you want.
Yeah. What about you, Monk?
I appreciate it.
Good. And then you ready?
Yep.
Okay. Listen, lady, I will talk to you later. You have a good day.
I will.
See ya.
But I'm going to have an even better night. Because tonight, I'm going to find out exactly where you go, Mr. Monroe Lassiter.
Charles, if you're going to insist on pursuing this line, you're just going to be wasting my time and your money.
I don't consider it a waste.
Charles, I've already told you that you don't have any rights in this matter, one way or another.
Why are you so insistent about this? Aren't you going to check further?
All right, I'll just lay it out for you. Not only do you not have a legal leg to stand on, but in my opinion, Miriam is a fine mother. And it's up to her and the boy's father as to how this boy's going to be raised, not you. And frankly, I wish you'd just get off their backs.
You know, it occurs to me that I ought to consider making a major change in our relationship.
Is that so? Well, why don't you just fill me in then?
Well, if you can't handle this mess and get Eric back under my control, I'll find a lawyer who can.
No more of that, Charles. I've had enough of your threats.
Oh, this isn't a threat. It's a promise. I have the means of making you a very poor man.
You don't pull my strings, Charles.
Oh, really? We'll see about that.
Goodbye, Charles.
Oh, you were terrific. Fantastic. I love the way you told him off. I am so proud of you. You aren't a pussycat at all. You're a tiger.